am great.
That's right.
Are audiobooks still reading?
I've had that question for a long time, and everybody always tells me yes.
I think so, because you're still
Here's
using
my
the
thing.
brain.
Right.
You're still consuming it.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you can read, the fact of the matter is we're just in a different... People don't have time to read.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you're still actively choosing to take in the content of the book, but in a way that you're able to, you know, more frequently. I think it's... I'll be like, oh yeah, I read this book about... Or you could say I listened to this book about, but like, if I'm just talking to somebody, I'm going to be like, I read this book even though I listened to it. Yeah, I read that or whatever. Because you could have, given the time.
Sure.
You know, you can read it. It's just, you don't have time.
I spent the 17 hours it took for this dude to read it to me.
Right.
I was there.
Yeah. Actually, it would take less time if you would actually sit down for that amount of time and read it yourself, because you're going to read faster than someone's going to verbalize it back to you.
And I sit down to read, like here, you know, I would have to have the TV off and everything silent, because if not, I'm like a child, you know, I get distracted easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to go back and reread a page because you're like, I know I physically looked at every word on that page, but I couldn't tell you what the fuck it just said.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
But with the audio, I can, you know, I'm working and working with a machine, and I'm listening, comprehending. I'm really kind of, you know, I can really grasp, especially with Audible.
Fucking up tank jackets, just paying too much attention to the story.
That's right. Well, the Audible has such good narrators. I mean, some of them do voices, you know, different voices for different characters, and
yeah. Do you have Audible, Brian?
I don't, and I keep thinking maybe I should, but I'm like, God, I have so many books around here that I have comic books around here that I've got recently, and I've even picked up and read those, for crying out loud, and that's
what's
some
good
of the
for
funnest, easiest reading there is. But
right,
like for Star Wars, I've listened to all of the books of the movies, and it gives you like some of the thoughts of the characters and what they, you know, rather than, you know, if they were just standing there looking at somebody, they'll tell you what he was thinking. They'll give different scenes, like in what is it, The Last Jedi. There is a scene with Luke. It starts, the book starts with Luke and his wife on Tatooine, and you don't know what the fuck you're listening to or reading. It's Luke Skywalker telling about him and his wife on Tatooine, and they've been there for years. And then he wakes up from the dream. But it gives you this really cool scene of Luke Skywalker picturing what his life would have been like if Obi-Wan Kenobi, or if those droids wouldn't have come into his life.
Yeah.
It talks about it. You know, he knew that the Empire was out there, but he didn't care because him and his wife were fine on Tatooine with the moisture farm, and yeah, it was cool.
That's kind of cool. Do you pay for Audible, Dean?
You can. I don't. But like every so often, they just send you free credits.
Right. We talked about that before, and I wondered.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did it, but it just like
when I changed phones, it was like for 2 years that I didn't download Audible, and I got back on Audible just recently, and I had like 7 credits. Meaning a book is a credit.
Yeah.
So I had 7 books because they just kept putting them on my account. It's kind of an enticing thing.
Right.
But yeah.
Cool.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. All right.
It's fun that we do a show after the show.
Well, I'm recording this too, so actually it's a nice little bonus clip there about our books, our books, audio books.
Excellent.